What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we teamed up again with the statistical genius RS and DJ Mixby, one of the best players in this game, to bring you our second top 10 countdown. This time we are looking at the strikers in the game, the top 10 strikers in the game. We have a list of some of the higher ones in there as well, like going basically all the way up to the top 30 ones, and looking at the stats again, kind of like we did with the center backs. Now, one of the things about the strikers is there's a lot of similarities in terms of like the difference in stats. There's not a huge variance in the standard deviation. We have a much bigger sort of group of top tier strikers, mid tier strikers, and then sort of our third tier strikers when we're looking at it. So again, the stats were broken down looking at what is most important for a striker, very specifically to verse attack. So a lot of it looked at the stun rating, the speed, the sprint speed, the acceleration, those kind of things. One thing to keep in mind is that a lot of things with strikers is it's a lot of personal preference, especially if you're looking at head-to-head. For me, I love using Aubameyang, first of all because he's an Arsenal player, but also I just really love the feel of that card. I've loved using a Jersey's card, and if you talk to a lot of top head-to-head players, they'll mention this kind of thing. It's like it has a lot to do with what your play style is, and in player selection, when you're looking at, especially when you start to look at your strikers and your mids, it's what is the card that plays best with your play style. So you might try out some of these cards and they don't work as well for you because it doesn't go with how you sort of play the game or how you go through it. So having a really great stun rating is great if you're really good at using your skill moves and those kind of things. But if you really prefer to kind of pass the ball around, move the ball around, maybe you care a little bit more about finesse because you want to get to better spots in the box. If you like to cross the ball in, maybe you care more about the heading stats. So when we look at this, a lot of the players at the top are kind of well and above in all of the stats, and that's where you look at it. But when you're kind of deciding what player is the best one for your team, consider what kind of player are you. Are you a player that loves to have a strengthy player? Are you a player that loves to have a player that's good at heading, has good height, has good strength, those kind of things when you're going through it. So we're going to look at the top 10 based on the statistics put together by both RS and DJ Mixby, and coming in at number 10, all right, so coming in at number 10, we have Ben Yedder. One of the cards I've actually really liked using in previous seasons on FIFA Mobile, on console as well. He's got some decent acceleration, sprint speed, great finishing, shot power, and with the position boost, he gets that boost of sprint speed, shot power, long shot, volley, ball control. So if you're looking at getting a high skill boost on him, he really helps build out those. I really enjoy a card that's good dribbling, good ball control, personally, when we're going through this as well. The one downside is he is a little bit lower when we look at strength, aggression, jumping. He's good. He's got kind of a bit of a redemption quality in heading if you're looking for a card that you can cross the ball into. But all in all, a pretty decent card, and the fact that he's probably the cheapest card on here, well, he is the cheapest card on here at 14 million coins, definitely is a positive to this card. So if we're looking at his standard deviations, 1.37 standard deviations above the average here. So really in close with some of the ones that are going in there, like our number 9 card. Alright, so number 9, we have Jesus. He is going to be his FA Cup card. Now, he's going to be a lot more. He's actually one of the more expensive cards in here. There are cheaper versions of cards that are better quality that you can get as you move higher up the list. And the reason for it is because he was so much harder to obtain than some of the Ultimate Team of the Season cards and some of the Team of the Season cards as well. So this card from the FA Cup is about 1.45 standard deviations above the average. So he's pretty much double the cost, about 40 million. In fact, he's like almost he's like 3 times the cost of Jesus, and he's not really that much higher when we're looking at statistics. He does have high attacking and high defensive work rate, which is nice. He does have the position bonus, which will give him sprint speed, shot power, long shot, ball control, dribbling, which is really nice. And he does have, once you start building it up, 140 on the dribbling and ball control. He is fast. He's got great shot power. He's got great long shot. Again, he fails a little bit in his strength and his aggression and his jumping, but does have okay heading when we're looking at that as well. So all in all, he's not a bad card, but if we're looking at the fact that he's going to cost you 40 million coins, he's probably one of the cards that I personally probably would not go for unless I really want to build myself out a nice Man City. Alright, so next up we have one of the most expensive cards in the game. Yes, he's got some good sprint speed, good finishing, good shot power, good short passing, good dribbling, good ball control, quite good strength with 123 strength, 108 aggression, 113 jumping. So he's got some really good all-around stats. He plays quite well in game, and we're starting to get a bit of a jump up on his standard deviation, 1.73 above the average. But this card is going to cost you about 217 million coins. So being one of the biggest cards in the game in terms of the ultimate team of the season so far, this card is an absolute beast in price, and probably not worth the 217 million you want to spend unless you're a big Lewandowski fan. But I haven't actually used this card in game. In fact, I haven't gone against this card in game, but Aris did use him in game and kind of felt that he was a bit sluggish and clunky when compared to the ultimate team of the season so far, Mbappe. Kind of like I feel with the Holland card that we had before earlier in the season, with his Bundesliga rivals one. Doesn't feel like as smooth as some of the higher cards that we have as well. You may disagree with this, but you know, it is one of those ones where if you're looking at 217 million, you're gonna want a card that is like well above the rest, right? Like you want a standout card with this one. And both him and the Messi ultimate team of the season so far card, in my personal experience and opinion with it, are not worth the money that you're gonna put in. Although I don't know when you would ever find a 217 million coin card that is gonna feel like it's worth what you buy it for. Alright, so then coming in the next spot, we have our number 7 card, the icon, the first icon on this list, which is Larsson. So again, the cards are at 100 overall, 20 boost when we're looking at kind of rating them. So he does have a bit of an increase on his pace than you would have if you had him with the base one. And of course, as a card that is a prime icon, you won't even be able to get him unless they release some like prime icon packs like they did in previous seasons. But he does have 140 sprint speed when he's been leveled up to this. He does have 128 acceleration. He's got great shot power, great long shot. Because he's got that boosted sprint speed, shot power, long shot, ball control, and dribbling, that is really helpful when looking at a lot of the important stats with this Versattack card. So he's got 135 heading as well. He's got okay strength and aggression, but he does have 108 jumping. So overall, a pretty like good card. I played against him in game. I found some of the times I played against him in head-to-head, he's absolutely destroyed me. You can really feel the power of that shot when you're trying to stop him from the top of the 18. You're everything that I could ever want. Alright, coming in at number 6, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. Probably one of the cards that most head-to-head players would say is their number 1 choice to go to, especially for the fact that he is a fairly cheap card. Like, you can get him for about, 22 million coins. You could pick up this ultimate team of the season so far, Ronaldo, which obviously 22 million coins is quite a bit, but if we're looking at comparative to the other top 10 cards, he is quite a good deal for this. He's got 140 sprint speed, a little slower on the acceleration, but he's got great finishing, great shot power, great dribbling, ball control, great strength. Obviously, he's got good jumping, and he is someone that can really get in those corners. A lot of times when I've gone against him, you're not winning crosses against the ultimate team of the season so far. Ronaldo, very hard to beat him on corners, unless maybe you have ultimate team of the season Van Dijk on the squad as well. So Cristiano Ronaldo, great card. He does have, he's the first card on this list that has his own unique skill move. He has the Ronaldo chop, which is really, really helpful as a fake shot. So if you're not confident in your fake shot ability, it does a good job to basically eliminate the fake shot. I really did enjoy using this Ronaldo card. I found him quite smooth. He is actually, like, compared to like when I played with Ultimate Team of the Season so far Messi, I found that he was no better than any other Messi card. But when I played with Ultimate Team of the Season so far Ronaldo, I could feel the difference between him and previous Ronaldo cards that I had used in game. So he is in 6th place, but this is definitely a card at 1.99 above the standard deviation. I would look at this and I would probably put some good consideration into this Cristiano Ronaldo card, because the cards above him, while they are, you know, higher in him in rating, they're not that much higher, and this is a card that can help you both in head-to-head and in Versattack. All right, so the next card that we have going on in this one is the Prime Icon Drogba card. So this was really a card that I wanted to get. Loved using him in previous seasons. He's got great pace, he's got great shooting, he's got great strength, probably some of the best strength other than the Prime Ronaldo card out of this top 10. He is sliding into that 2 standard deviations above the norm, but if you're looking at this card, this Drogba card, that's going to cost you, I don't know, $1,000 in real money, or a 20 million coin card in Ultimate Team of the Season Ronaldo. They're fairly similar in that. For me, I do love a card that has great strength. I've loved using, you know, Sancho's cards, those things as well. When I've gone against him in game, he's played quite well, and when he first kind of came out, he was definitely one of the go-to cards for being the top card in the game. But as we started to reveal some like bigger, better cards, you know, he's not really falling in that same level as maybe some of the, you know, the Mbappes, or the, you know, the Mobile, Stopde, you know, cards as well. Coming in at number 3, we have Team of the Season so far, Mbappe. This one is available in the chain packs, which does make him a little bit more expensive. You're looking at probably 40 million coins for this card. But when most of the people I've talked to, this Ultimate Team of the Season and Team of the Season Mbappe are some of their favorite cards to use. He's at 2.25 standard deviations above the average when we're looking at this, and you know, a card that's really fun to use in game. I've used him in game. I loved using him in game. You know, he's got really quick movements. He has a really good stun rating when we're looking at it. He's got, what, 410 stun rating, which is actually higher than his Ultimate Team of the Season so far version in there. So it's a very, very good card. He has the acceleration skill boost as well. He's got great all-around stats. One of the cards that I think a lot of people who have used him have been a very big fan of. Alright, so the next card coming in at number 3 is Ultimate Team of the Season so far, Mbappe. This is the card that so many people have absolutely loved, and I have absolutely despised going against. I know DJ Mixfu uses this card a lot and has had some great success with this card in head-to-head. He's got basically great all-around stats. He's a very smooth card. He's a great finisher, great at getting into position. It is the card that is rarely disappointing. Ours as well says that rarely disappointed by him. Very well rounded, super fast, great shooting, good agility, and even has decent heading when we're looking at it. So if you're looking for a card that is a great choice for someone who might be using other second striker cards and want to stick with that boost, he's looking at a 2.32 standard deviations above the average. So you can see very similar in, like, when we're looking at ranking the stats to his Team of the Season so far version, and he is going to cost you a little bit more, about double the price of the Team of the Season so far version. But if you have the coins for it, a lot of people are really liking using this card. Coming in at number 2, we have Immobile, Stopde himself in this one. 409 stun rating, one of the highest stun ratings in this whole top 10 that we have. 2.6 above the standard deviation. He's getting close into our number 1 spot, who I'm guessing you probably guess who's going to be already, but he is going to cost you 93 million coins. So the cheapest version I could find for his Ultimate Team of the Season so far was 93 million, which is definitely starting to go up in that value, especially when you look at, you know, comparing him to, say, you know, the Ronaldo card, which is going to be 22 million. So I haven't actually used or gone against this card myself in game. When you talk to a lot of the top players, you're going to see a lot of them are actually using them, and they thought that he wouldn't be great because of the acceleration boost, but because he starts with 132 ball control already, his stun stats are amazing. Alright, number 1, and really, could you expect it to be anybody else in this one? One of the most amazing players to watch when he was in his prime, the Prime Icon Ronaldo. He's got the second striker boost. He's 3 standard deviations above the average. He's also like the highest card that we have in this game. He's a Prime Icon. He costs an absolute fortune to get, but he is the highest rated card in the game, and part of the reason is he basically has everything. He can shoot, he can run, he has great strength. He's just an all-around beast card. Played against him in game, and he is really good at sort of moving his way through, you know, and all of those different things. One thing I would say though is when I look at him in head-to-head, he is still, you still are able to defend him, you know, and when you're looking at a card player that is so far above the rest. It's not like he's a card that is going to beat you every single time. He is a card that if you kind of work through, have good defenders, he can be beaten and he can be stopped. But he is the #1 card. The card you probably wouldn't expect any other card to replace for a little while until maybe we get a Prime Icon Pele card. But that is what we got for our top 10 in this one. So let me know what you think. What would your top 10 be? Again, all the cards were equally rated at 100 overall and 20 skill boosts and put together. And both Aris and DJ Mixfu were putting these stats together. And you can see from the diagrams that we have that when we're looking at this, there's a lot of very close relativity. When DJ Mixfu looked at it, he didn't put as much of a weighting on strength, whereas Aris did. I feel like when I would be putting this together, strength is something I like, mainly because I'm not a huge Verstack player. I'm more into the head-to-head side. But that's what we got from the stats. You can see again, we have a big group of tier 1 players, our tier 2 players, but anybody really in this sort of top 10, top 14 ranking would be a card that I would love using in game. Like you look at this, some of the names in this, and some of the cards that I've even used in here that fall outside of it. There's some great cards in there. And as I say again, a lot of this depends on what your play style is. So these are statistically some of the higher cards, but I found cards like I don't even see on this list. Oh, there. Aubameyang is 27th. Aubameyang is 27th. That's probably my favorite card to use in this game when I'm playing in head-to-head. So if we're looking at this, you know, you're not necessarily going to say that the #1 card is your favorite card to use because everybody's going to kind of look at this different depending on their playstyle. But anyways, make sure you go and check out DJ Mixfu's videos. There's a link to those in the description below. Also go and check out the article that Aris has put over on Reddit for full details about all of these things. So thank you again to them for partnering up with us on this. It has been a pleasure as always. Stopde.